hurry, Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cadiz.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, we like to start Coffee Talk with our Pledge of Allegiance. And that's something that means an awful lot to us because we love our kids and we love what it stands for. And we really do. We appreciate everybody who allows their children to be a part of that every single morning as well. If you say, well, how in the world did they get on there? How did they do that? Well, we'll let you in on a little bit of a secret. All you got to do is call the office and leave it on the answering machine. It's not difficult at all. Give us a call at 270-963-9155. And little Sally and our little Mikey, they can be part of the pledge too. We would love nothing more than for them to be in the spotlight and be a star for the day on our Coffee Talk every single morning. Again, all you have to do is leave it on the answering machine, leave their name and maybe how old they are. That would be fantastic. But definitely leave the pledge. Again, 270-963-9155, or you can email it to us. You can record that at any time and email it to us at WPKYonline@gmail.com. Okay, everybody stand up. Are you on your feet? Are you there yet? Come on. Get on your feet. Here we go. We're going to do the pledge. Kick it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bradley family this morning. Thank you so much. Of course, those kids are adorable, and we love them so much. And again, if you would like your kids to be a part of it, we welcome that. 270-963-9155. And you know who's coming up next? It's one of our favorite people from one of our favorite places. It's Shane Bogle from the Caldwell County Extension Office, and I bet he's got all kinds of information to share. So that's coming up next on WPKY. Hang on. And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Well, it looks like it's settling down a little. It doesn't look as ominous as it did about an hour or so ago. I mean, it got really dark all of a sudden, and we got rain that we weren't really supposed to get. Right now, it looks a little more like the forecast. 20% chance of scattered showers before 10 o'clock instead of 9. They've extended that to 10. Cloudy through mid-morning at the very least, high 60. Tonight, mostly clear and 44. Tomorrow, sunshine and 68. Then on Friday, here's where it gets interesting. Thursday night through Friday morning. It's kind of like the roller coaster ride we're going to ride. Showers are going to move in Thursday night, but with them, they're going to bring in some colder temps, some much colder temps. Now, the temperature's only going to get up to 50s during the day on Friday and drop to 35 overnight Friday night. And what that means, again, is frost. And, of course, I'm sure Shane, when we talk to him in a minute, will have more to say about that frost. Of course, it looks like it's going to warm up a little bit on Saturday. High of 59 with sunshine. That'll help. But then on Sunday, it looks a little more normal, mostly sunny and warmer with a high of 65. Of course, that's a lot more seasonable and sounds better, huh? It is 52 and hopefully climbing. I don't know. It's going to do something, though, at 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Treasures Remembered.
Bless his heart, I had to pick on him a lot. But here he is, Mr. Shane Bogle from the Caldwell County Extension Office. Do you know what this forecast is going to do, Shane? Hello? There we go. Mr. Shane Bogle.
Good morning.
Can you explain what in the world Mother Nature is thinking?
It's a way to keep us all humble.
I'm telling you what. This forecast has been crazy today. They said first it said 20% chance of rain, and we got the most ominous-looking gray-green mess this morning for clouds that you've ever seen. And then they said, well, seasonable but a little cooler. Frost, I would say, is cooler in May.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Have you ever heard of frost coming in May?
Maybe once that I remember, but yeah, there chances of that by the end of the week. It looks pretty likely.
I really can't remember. And I guess, like I said, I said it earlier, too. I say, I'm sure that I probably in my lifetime at some point that's happened, but I sure don't remember it. You would think, well, and maybe if I was a kid, I just wouldn't remember it because I'm not the one that was covering up the peppers, I guess, but It's just one of those unusual things for sure. And of course, we got a supermoon this week, so I bet there's a lot of babies that are expected. This is kind of a good week for them, livestock-wise, because mine always go in the middle of the night during a full moon, especially if it rains. If it's raining and a full moon and they're not supposed to, that's when my cows were always going to have babies.
Well, there's lots of weird stuff going on, and today, Tess, I thought I would talk about something that's been in the news. You've probably seen it all over Facebook, and that's the Asian giant hornet.
I hate those things, Shane, and you know it. I can't handle a hornet.
Well, let's talk today just a little bit about this, what's in the news, and then what we actually have here. So it has been previously reported. We did something on this back in December in some of our publications that go out and things to folks. And the USDA did confirm the identification of an Asian giant hornet on a farm in Blaine, Washington. And then not long after that, it was found in Vancouver, British Columbia. So that's a long way from Kentucky. But this past weekend, national media outlets reported on the hornet and spurred a lot of concern. And I have got several specimens of hornet sitting on my desk now. And, I try and talk on the radio about what's most things that I hear about coming into the office. And right now, it is definitely that. So just to be clear, there are none of these in Kentucky as of now. The good part about the university and our Kentucky Department of Ag, our state entomologist department, we are monitoring, we're looking. If you question whether it is this giant Asian hornet, by all means, get us a sample. We'll get it identified. Everything that I have found so far this year that has been submitted is just the European hornet. And some folks are not as used to even seeing the European hornet because it has not been around in Kentucky that many years. From when we were kids, we remember the bald-faced hornets.
Well, right. When you said it's just the European,
black.
I thought, oh, my goodness, those things are huge. That's bad enough.
That is bad enough, and they're quite large. Even our European hornet is what we're used to seeing. And what has spurred a lot of this, I think, is there are a lot of lookalikes to this giant Asian hornet. And, I can see where confusion would come in. So we do have the European hornet in Kentucky, which is big. They can get an inch or a little longer. We have the cicada killer. We've done a couple of radio shows on that in the past, like in the hot summer time of the year, flying around the top of the ground. And then, of course, our old-fashioned bald-faced hornets. All of them have the capability of a bad sting. But European hornets and cicada killers are smaller than this giant Asian hornet. If you see one of them, you think it's going to be looks the size of a hummingbird. They're quite large, and 2 inches up to 2 inches long. So, and they can sting through a beekeeper's suit. So that has sparked a lot of the fear that, oh my goodness, are they this deadly? And why is they concerned about this? The Asian giant hornet is infamous for conducting raids on colonies of European honeybees. So one of the calls that I've got, one of the samples that's sitting on my desk right now, actually came from a beehive here in the county. But the European hornet will also raid occasionally the honeybee nests. So that is the greatest concern that we have in the United States, is how important our honeybee population is to pollinating our food. And if these do get established in Kentucky or in places that there is a lot of bee colonies used for pollination, then it's going to mean major losses, for honeybees. These insects also pose a medical hazard because they are very, very defensive of their nests. And they have a much longer stinger, of course, than the honeybees, and the venom is more hazardous than any other stinging insect that we know of. So right now, I reiterate, they are not in Kentucky. They are nowhere near Kentucky. But we are, I'm going to post something for you to share, Tess, to y'all's Facebook page that has a picture of how to identify these. That'll help folks if, you knock one down on your porch or, or have a question about it, this diagram and everything will help you identify what you have. So I will post that to the WPKY Facebook page just as soon as we're done here today.
Oh, that just terrifies me. And for people like, well, it does. I mean, I have a phobia, a real phobia of hornets and wasps and, some things like that. But it's because when I was a kid, anytime I got stung, it made me sick. And thinking about things like that and those cicada killers, I hate those things. They're huge. But, if you've got an allergy to a bee, the likelihood of you being allergic to one of these things is pretty good. You need to make sure, I always make sure that I've got an EpiPen handy where the kids know where it's at. That's part of our, when we're outside working together, don't get me wrong, I overdid it on the flower beds this week, and my back is paying for it. But, I had to make sure that the kids knew where the EpiPen was just in case we got into some wasp or, something like that, cleaning up the flower beds and stuff. And that's a pretty important thing right now.
Well, what the media, I think, has not helped with the identification and the promotion of what this is, murder hornet. If people are allergic to a bee sting, they can have that allergic reaction, and it can be just as deadly to someone as this wasp. 50 people are actually killed per year in Japan, according to some news outlets that as I was researching this. From this giant hornet. And I don't know what the statistics are for here in the United States with regular stinging insects from wasps, because hornets are in the wasp family. So all of them, have the potential to give us, especially if you're allergic, and they can give you quite a painful sting. And those EpiPens would definitely be handy to have around.
I'm going to tell you what, I see a European, it's not going to have to sting me. I'd fall over dead from fear.
Well, the good thing is our folks are watching and monitoring, and the network of entomologists across the United States, most all state entomologists knows the other state entomologists. They all get together for conferences and things, and they monitor this. We've had lots of different insects that we monitor and keep folks up, that we don't need them here. That is definite. We do not need them here, and they are working very hard in Washington and British Columbia to eradicate those, because we do not need those spreading our direction.
I'll tell you, Shane, I like nothing more than a tattle on my daddy. I think it embarrasses him, and I love that. But when I was a kid, and I still do it, when I get stung by a wasp or something, because it seems like it's and I'm not saying don't go out and do this and say Tess said to do it. But when I was growing up, my dad used to dab a little gas on it. What do you do? Because I know some people put tobacco on theirs and different little home remedies over the years.
Yeah, well, nothing beats those vials where you bust the I can't remember what they're called, but you can get them at Walmart. Treatment kit. You kind of supposed to pull and suck with suction and give some antihistamine as it's being applied. I keep those around the house. I'm actually allergic to bee stings and stuff also, but I have a swelling effect of wherever they hit. I don't really have breathing issues the way some folks do. And my hand, last time I got stung by a red wasp, my hand was twice the size the next day that it was. And a lot of itching and just discomfort. But, some folks, negative reactions to their respiratory system, which is definitely not good.
Well, and I'm fortunate enough, I don't have the breathing problems. I'm kind of like you. I swell up really bad, and it makes me nauseous as well. And I get pretty sick for the next day over it, but I don't have the breathing problems. But that's with red wasp and bees and pretty well everything about the farm that's everywhere all summer long, and I can't. That's why I'm terrified, though. But I like the idea of the vial thing better. I need to get some of those.
Yeah, I cannot remember what they're called, but it's just a little, about a half an inch long little tube, and you crush that, which there is a cotton swab on the end, and it lets the medicine out. At the same time you're dabbing it, you're releasing it, and it pulls, hopefully, it's pulling some of that venom back out. And that's made for, immediately after a sting. And they do help, definitely.
Well, Shane, I love that. That is massively helpful. Let's just hope that, the Washington people can keep these hornets as far as I'm concerned.
That's right. And if folks have got any questions, we have a great publication that's fresh off the shelf from UK, and I'm going to post a link to that to the Facebook page here just in a moment. And if there is questions, of course, you call the extension office, and do not hesitate to submit a sample if you're worried, because we are monitoring this. And when I'm taking these calls serious when folks do call and get us a sample where we can check it out. So,
well, we don't have them until we do, and that's kind of the way a lot of the things have kind of come into our areas. You don't have them until they're here.
That's right. And if we know, most of the time we have enough of a warning that, they were found in Washington this year, and next year they're found in Iowa, and the next year they're in Missouri. That network of watching these invasive species, not all the time can we stop them, like the woolly adelgid that killed so many hemlocks in the Smoky Mountains. That was one of those that we just could not stop. We knew they were coming. They just could not stop those.
Well, again, don't tell me they're ominous and that they're going to be here eventually. Just let me live in denial, Shane. I'm fine with it.
Well, I'm sure we'll get updated on that down a year or so down the road. But the main thing right now is just for folks to know that they are not here. And what you're seeing most of the time is the European hornet, which I talked to a couple of folks last night that they remember when they got here. And they are bigger than the bald-faced hornets, and some people say that the sting hurts worse. I do not know, but they are around, and for the most part, as long as you're not around their nest, they are not that aggressive. But a sting from them is not a fun thing to experience.
No, but it does. It does hurt a lot worse, and I know a couple of people that have gone through that. I've gone through that as well. One of the things that we do is put up a fake nest, because evidently they're very territorial. And if you put up a fake hornet's nest, they don't like to be around that.
That is true. I have heard that and seen that done, yes.
Well, and I like that instead of just spraying everything in the world. I mean, you can overuse pesticides. And, if you can do something to help them to get spread more, and it's all natural like that, I say that's a win-win. I mean, that's amazing, I think.
We will get this sent to y'all's private box, and then y'all can post this to your Facebook page. And again, if you got questions, 270-365-2787.
Well, thank you. Now, is the UK Wheat Field Day, that's May 12th, right?
That is May 12th, and that is going to be done by Zoom. So it is a virtual wheat field day, and I do have the codes for that. They are on our Facebook, the Caldwell County Extension Facebook page, and then my Ag Extension page. If anybody wants to tune into that, it's very easy. You punch in, copy the link, you put it in your computer, it automatically downloads what you need. As long as you have a speaker system, you can hear what's going on. And I will definitely be in on that day. It's good information for our wheat producers.
Well, and I saw where the May 2020 Kentucky Forage newsletter is available too.
Yes, and there's a lot of our newsletter. Our Kentucky Pest News came yesterday, which has the great article that we are discussing today in it. So there's lots of things that you can subscribe to in university, and we are trying to post those through this on our Facebook page, where folks can go and it's very simple. You either sign up for an email or Twitter. Most of it's on all of those social media type sites. So you should be able to find that information pretty easy. But if you can't, of course, give us a call and we will help.
And that's 365-2787. Of course, Mr. Shane Bogle, we sure do appreciate it. And I'll tell you, you and the ladies are rocking it out online. There's so many things that are available. The different newsletters, from food to your hayfield. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything on there. And these hornets, I really have enjoyed it. You guys have really gone all out with it.
Well, this has been a different time. We've had to adjust what we do. Of course, our lobby will still close probably through the end of this month to people coming in, but I think we worked out good systems to get samples. We're still doing as many soil samples as ever, and folks dropping off stuff for identifications and weed IDs and insect IDs. So that stuff's going on. It's just maybe not quite as quick as it is because somebody's not in the office 100% of the time. We are working remotely a lot of the time. But I tell you, I got to spend a whole lot more time in the fields, which I like.
Oh, well, thank you so much. We appreciate everything you're doing. And you just tell them Hornets they can stay away and we'll be just fine.
Okay.
Thanks so much, Mr. Shane Bogle with the Caldwell County Extension Office. And again, I'm going to give you that number because he's a really good guy to have his phone number. I'm going to give it out, 365-2787. And again, if you've got soil samples, if you've got problems with some of those plants and maybe that one really stubborn flower that you love and you don't want to give up on, but or even your fruit tree, and you say, you know what? It's just not really doing what it did over a couple. Is something wrong with that? I don't know what's wrong with it. Well, here's how you do it. You can take a clipping and then you can contact Mr. Bogle there, and they will actually do a sample of a lot of those things and tell you what's wrong with it. But here's what you got to do is the first thing, make that phone call and tell him that you need some help. And he's very helpful and always willing to do so. 365-2787. That's the Caldwell County Extension Office. And again, they've got a ton of services out there for you. If you're needing maybe some recipes and I will I'll tattle on myself as much as I love Shane. I accidentally called Joni earlier just out of habit. And that's a lady that can sure get her grill on, I'm telling you, or cooking. And of course, they've got all kinds of things there on their website as far as anything from recipes to healthy things for the kids and workouts and books. You name it. It's literally something for everybody. Their homemakers club and all of that is right there. All of that information right there on their website and their social media. So make sure that you give them a call if you need a question. And that's for any of those, not just Shane, but anyone there at the Extension Office, 365-2787. Stick around. Speaking of farms and Extension Office and all of that good stuff, gardens and fruit trees, that's a farmer's market, right? That about the time, I'll tell you, as soon as it started warming up and my daddy got all the seeds out, I thought, oh, farmer's market time. I got so excited because I thought, if my daddy's pulling all the seeds out and the plows are coming out and the disc and the tillers and you're starting to see the tractors on the road, that means farmer's market's not going to be far behind because the greenhouses will be forking out some stuff even before the gardens do. So I wasn't wrong. And now we're going to have a brand new farmers market right there in Farmersville, downtown. So we're going to holler at Roy Jean here in just a second, and he's going to tell us all about it and tell us how you can get involved. And even if you don't want to have a booth at the farmers market, how in the world do you get out there to it and what all it's going to be about? We're going to talk to Roy Jean next on Coffee Talk, so hang out.
At ABC Finance, we have always been committed to keeping our customers and our staff safe and healthy.
In response to the recent COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, we have implemented several new policies company-wide to ensure the safety and well-being of all.
This includes limiting access to parts of our office to the public, isolating loan closings to one area, and frequently sanitizing all hard, frequently touched surfaces.
We've also asked our staff to please stay home in the event they are feeling unwell.
If you, as a customer, are unwell or are uncomfortable with getting out of the house, stay home. And please remember, payments can be made by phone or online at abcfinanceonline.com.
You can also apply for a loan on our website with fast decisions and quick turnaround time.
If you have any additional questions, please contact the office nearest you. Locations are listed on our website, abcfinanceonline.com.
Also, follow us on Facebook for the latest information. And stay safe from all of us at ABC Finance.
Health First Community Health Center is doing our part to help stop the spread. We are now offering telehealth services to keep you healthy at home. Scheduling a virtual visit with your medical or behavioral health provider is easy. All you need is a smartphone, tablet, or computer and internet access. Get the care that you need to stay mentally and physically well from the convenience of your home. Contact our office for an appointment at 877-667-7017. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
The greatest comeback of all time is coming soon.
There's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Looks like a 20% shot at showers. Kind of elevated that a little bit earlier. I mean, it was looking ominous, and we got 100% chance of rain because we got some. But it looks like it's a little more like the forecast was supposed to be at this point. We do have some scattered showers here and there. That's why there's a 20% chance of it for the rest of the morning. But we're thinking cloudy by afternoon, high 60. Now, tonight, mostly clear, low 44. Tomorrow, sunshine and 68. Now, tomorrow night, Thursday night, this is when it's going to get interesting. Those showers are going to move in overnight Friday night. They're going to continue to stick with us through Friday morning. And when the showers finally do move out, they're going to leave cooler temps in their place. And we're only talking about upper 50s for the day on Friday, even when it does clear up Friday afternoon. But frost in the forecast for Friday night into Saturday morning. And with a low of 35, that frost becomes more and more likely. So if you've got plants, if you've got things that need to be covered up, make sure that they are before you go in for supper on Friday night, because if not, it's going to be too late. Sunday, mostly sunny. Now, the warmer temps are going to start to come back with that sunshine warming everything up on Sunday, high 65. And then on Monday, we're kind of back to normal where we should be, or where we think is normal anyway in this area. Mostly sunny, a high 64. And of course, again, cloudy and 60 today. So it's still not going to be overly warm even today. And I'll tell you, when you think about, again, frost, doggone it. Shane said he can think of about one time that he can remember frost in May back in the day. And I got a guy on the phone that if I ask him, I wonder if he's going to remember it. Mr. Roy Gene Rogers, are you there?
I'm here. Yes.
Do you remember frost in May before?
Yes, one time I know there was a lot of the gardens were out, and we did have a frost. Now, I'm not sure of the date, but there was a frost in May, and a lot of those individuals that had their gardens planted lost those. Now, I'm not sure about the crops. I don't know whether it had much of an effect on them, but I do know a lot of people around here lost their gardens, but that's been several years ago.
Well, maybe it's just me, and maybe it is, and I'll just chalk it up to that. Maybe I'm getting old and I just don't remember. But when I was a kid, it seems like I don't, and maybe I just tolerated it better, so I didn't think about it. But it seems like back in the day, May wasn't necessarily expected to be 100 degrees. It just seems like the hot temps were a lot milder when I was a kid than they are now, where maybe the cooler temperatures into the 1st of May wasn't that unusual.
No, you're correct. Look at some of the derbies that temperatures were down, I think, in the 40s and 50s. But no, it's, you never know. I didn't get to hear Shane, but when you're talking about wheat crops and, the early corn's up, I noticed there's some soybeans up yesterday. If it gets down very low and stays that way for a while, there could be some damage to those crops.
Oh, we're only looking at one night, and that's Friday night, it getting down to 35. So we're going to, you need to cover up your pepper plants or your tomato plants, especially if you've got containers where you can, bring them in or get them out of the way, then that's a good thing. But if you're somebody like us that's got a big garden, it's time to break out some tarps.
I think that's what we're going to do. We have nearly 400 tomato plants out. Some of them got hit early with the first frost we had, and they're just now starting to recover. And but we planted, I think, 160 since then, set them out. So, yeah, Brody and Coley talked to them yesterday, and I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to put some tarps out.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a lot of us that are doing that. And I, as much as I love garden season and as much as I, really, the frost is just kind of a pain. You're like, really? But at the same time, the good news is this weekend, I'm telling you, I'm really looking forward to this because I think this is such a good, I've wanted to see this for years. Of course, I live in Farmersville. That may be why I wanted it so bad. But downtown Farmersville, we got a brand new farmers market.
We are going to try this weekend. I talked to some of the vendors last night, and of course the major concern is the temperature on Saturday morning, taking plants out when your temperature is down in the low 30s, and then the other thing is individuals getting out in this weather. So I think what we're going to probably try to do is to move this thing back to the afternoon when we're looking at 60-degree weather and sunshine.
Oh, doesn't that sound good?
Yes, it does. But no, Big John and Dave, we were talking a couple weeks ago about possibility of a farmers market. I know Madisonville opened up last Saturday. Hopkinsville is opening up this Saturday, and we're still waiting for Princeton. So I haven't heard the last 2 or 3 days. I don't know what the status of that would be, but we're going to try. I know later on we've got goat butter. We've got several different things. We're going to have hanging baskets for sale Saturday. We're going to have quail eggs. That's just our booth, and then I think there's going to be some homemade bread and some goodies like that as well.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't know if there's people out there that have ever not really gone to a farmer's market in this area. But if you haven't, let me tell you, you need to go. It's one of those things that, but at the same time, if you say, well, nobody, I don't feel safe. Now, you guys are also taking measures to be safe for COVID-19.
Yes, we have talked to Josh Ramage, and we are following all the guidelines by the state. Those that come to the market, you're recommended to wear a mask, even though it's not mandatory. We would, recommend that maybe, or a handkerchief tied around your face there. Anything that would serve as a mask, and gloves. The vendors will be taking all precautions to make sure everything is safe. We will have the one-way traffic, foot traffic that goes one way and then circles back around. So we're taking all the precautions we can to ensure the safety of not only the vendors, but those that the consumers that come and purchase.
Well, I'm excited about it. I really am. And if folks aren't aware, if they want to be involved and say maybe have a booth, what kinds of things are available for a farmer to sell?
Anything that one of the guidelines is we can't sell clothing or any of what you might call flea market items. Those are not permissible. This is mainly just produce. Plants. I know we're going to have the tomato plants there, but and I know one lady, she had what seemed to be a surplus of plants, and she's welcome to bring those. But anything of that nature that you're growing or that you bake, the baked goods. I know Lisa Trimble has been baking a lot of items, and hopefully she'll bring some of those, but
oh, she can make zucchini bread, Roy Jean. I'm telling you, that is the zucchini bread lady.
Right. But now, we will, regardless of the weather or what happens, we will continue to do this for a while, because we have some that their greenhouses haven't really produced yet what they want. I know we've got carrots, and we've got several different items, turnips that we'll probably have there, but any items like that are permissible, just no flea market, and we prefer that they're homegrown, that they're not transported in here from Florida or some other county.
Homegrown, homemade, homespun items. Right. That's what you're talking about. And
we want people to get out. I mean, like you said, downtown Farmersville, our population sign it has front and back, so that's how big we are. But and the city limit sign as well. But Big John's restaurant is the Farmersville store there is doing great, and we want to try to bring some more people in to support his endeavor. So this is an attempt to do something.
Well, I'll tell you, we may not be very many in number, but we're very friendly, and we'd love for people to come out and visit. And hey, it's a pretty little drive. It's not far at all. If you're going out of Princeton, all you have to do is go right past the high school, and you'll make a right there on 139. And just 3 or 4 miles, it'll take you right there to Big John's, and the farmers market will be right beside.
Yes, we'll be on the north side. So again, we will be posting more information, but hopefully we can have several vendors, 4, 5, 6 the first time, and then hopefully people will take an afternoon drive and come out and pay us a visit.
I'm excited, Roy Jean. I am so excited about this. I saw John yesterday, and I told him, I was like, I'm so actually, well, no, I did see. I said, that's not true. I saw Crystal, but I saw both of them. But I'm so excited about it because I think that field there is just going to be perfect, and I think it's great for everybody to come out to, and it's something happening in Farmersville that we haven't had, and I love that. Now, do they have to bring their own table, or are you providing that?
No, they have to bring their own table, and I would also suggest that those that are coming to purchase items, they might bring their own plastic bags as well, just as another safety precaution. But, like I said, we will be posting all the necessary information, but we will be safe. We will be acknowledging the 6-foot distancing. Yeah, that's a difficult word for me, but we will be doing all those, but just hopefully we can see some people out Saturday afternoon enjoying the weather and come out and buy some produce.
Well, just out of curiosity, how much does it cost for a booth space out there?
Nothing. They're all free.
What? That's even better. What if I've got a Sunday school class that wants to bake cookies and sell them out there? Can we do that?
You most certainly can, yes.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Thank you, Roy Jean. I appreciate that. Remind us of the times.
Again, this Saturday, we're probably waiting till around noon because of the weather. We don't want people out, and it looks like the wind may be a little breezy there in the morning, and we don't want anyone to get a scratchy throat or, a headache or anything of that nature from the weather. So we're going to wait probably to around 12 o'clock to set up, and that way the sun will be out and temperatures will be up and people can come and enjoy themselves.
Well, I think that's perfect. Thank you so much. Give them a phone number to call in case they need information or to get pre-registered.
625-9442.
All righty. Thank you so much.
And, if we don't answer, out here in Farmersville and Flat Rock, we sometimes have a dead spot. So just keep trying, all right?
I'll tell you, honest to goodness, we call it the dead zone. And there is a spot in between, what I call Fredonia Road, 91. And when you get on to 139 and you're going toward Farmersville, there is a dead zone through there. That's a couple of curves long. So if somebody's driving through there and you're calling, you're not picking it up.
Nope. And then there's others out towards Flat Rock as well. So,
That's right. And there's another one a bad one out on 293 there for about 10 minutes. You're not talking to nobody if they're not in the car with you. So, hey, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. The inaugural Farmersville Farmers Market, and we appreciate you, Roy Jean.
All right. We're looking forward to seeing some people out there.
Of course, thank you so much, Roy Jean Rogers, and with the Farmersville Farmers Market. And we thank Big John for letting them have it out there on the field next to him. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a good time and decent weather for it, really and truly. They're talking about waiting until noon to start that up on Saturday. I think that's probably a good idea. We've got a low of 35 Friday night, and of course frost coming, so you're going to have to cover up a lot of those plants that you've got out. So with highs only going into 59 on Saturday, they're going to give it a chance to warm up so that everybody can be safe and warm and not be out in the elements if it's not good for them that morning. So I think that's wonderful. Of course, start about noon. And again, Farmersville Road's right there, 139 North, just out of Princeton. You go past the high school there on 91 and toward Fredonia. You make a right onto 139 and it'll take you right to it, just a few miles down on the right. A nice, pretty little drive, and it'll be a gorgeous day on Saturday for that as well. Stick around. Of course, Todd Griffin's going to be up with her sports. You got Audrey Lamb with all of your news and to get you caught up on everything else. Of course, Todd's going to have your information today about more about that sports parade as well that's going on this weekend. So make sure you stick around for that. And of course, your forecast looks like we're going to kind of need to keep an ear to the ground when it comes to the forecast over the next couple of days. So we'll do that as well. Stick around. All of that's still to come. Coming up, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Is it time to give your home a facelift? Enter the Home Rejuvenation Giveaway at WPKYOnline.com. And you could win a prize package of over $2,800 from these great sponsors: Kaufman Home Decor, Westerfield Builders, Gracious Me, Herb Hayes Furniture, Lee Building Products, DJ's Flooring, the Design Center at Casey Mill, and Pennaroyal Interiors. It's the Home Rejuvenation Giveaway. Enter today at WPKYOnline.com. Contest ends May 31st.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
And here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast for today. Looks like a 20% shot at showers before lunchtime. Cloudy through mid-morning. I think that's going to continue to happen. Looks like we got most of the rain out of the way earlier, high 60. Tonight, mostly clear and 44. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 68. And wait, if you took all the firewood out already, like most of us have, you might want to bring a couple of sticks back in. Friday, listen to this one. Showers are going to move in overnight Thursday night through Friday and leave us with cooler temps when it moves out. Clearing up by Friday with it looks like highs in the upper 50s. Frost in the forecast for Friday night with an unseasonable low 35. Then on Saturday, sunny and 59. It is 52 and 905, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Brantley Furniture.
Local businesses have supported us in every regard. Now it's our turn to support them. Here's a way you can help.
This is Beth Mann, President and CEO of the Edge Media Group. In times like these, it's good to know your local business person. The company that fed first responders, the shop that donated goods, the store that served as a drop-off location. Local businesses are the backbone of the community. As we flatten the curve and rebuild, we need you to support local life. Keep our local economy strong with our local businesses. Here today, here tomorrow, we're in this together. Support local.
The Edge Media Group encourages you to support local. Be sure to post what you're doing to show your support. #SupportLocal.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Your local McDonald's wants you to know that they're ready to serve you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They've always had their drive-thru, and now they're offering curbside pickup service as well. To avoid the wait in the drive-thru, you can download the McDonald's app and try curbside pickup. They appreciate your patience and understanding during this time. We are all having to adjust to this new way of life. It's temporary, but in the meantime, enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at your local McDonald's.
You have taken every precaution possible during COVID-19 to protect your family. But what about your vehicle? Is it safe? What about your tires? Purcell Tire is here to help you take care of your vehicle to ensure the safety for you and your family. The time will come when we can all hit the road and enjoy a normal life again. Those stimulus checks are arriving. Why not invest in your family's safety with new tires from Purcell Tire, Princeton, 309 U.S. Highway 62 West, or on the web at purcelltire.com.
It's time for some straight talk. The big wireless carriers try to wow you with big deals, but the savings are very little. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get the exact same networks as the big guys while saving up to 50%. Right now, you can get the unlimited plan with up to 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G for just $45 a month. No contract, no mystery fees, all with nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable networks. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise.
I've always wanted to learn another language, so I decided to give Babbel a try, and I really like the teaching method of the app. I started with the beginner lesson on Babbel, and soon you're putting words into a conversation. Each lesson takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and they're all really different, which keeps things interesting. I can't wait to use my Spanish skills in real life. Dos cervezas, por favor.
Now try Babbel free. Just go to Babbel.com or download the Babbel app. That's B-A-B.